Topic 1. A healthy active lifestyle. In this topic we're going to be looking at the following things. Firstly, what constitutes a healthy active lifestyle? And secondly, the reasons for and benefits of taking part in physical activity. First of all then, what do you think is a healthy lifestyle? So when you talk about someone being healthy, what immediately springs to mind? Let's give you a few seconds to have a think about that. Okay then. This is the definition that you need to know for the exam, so it's important you learn this and understand it fully. So a healthy lifestyle is one that contributes positively to physical, mental and social well-being and includes regular exercise and physical activity. So notice the keywords there: physical, mental and social well-being. Okay, so it's not just talking about a case of you're healthy because you're not ill or you're not sick. It's got to involve this physical, mental and social well-being as well. Okay, so let's look at some of the reasons why we take part in physical activity. So there's a whole host of reasons, okay, and these can be put into one of three categories. These being physical, which talks about improving health and fitness; mental or psychological, which refers to things like reducing stress; and thirdly, we have social benefits or reasons, which look at developing friendships and building teamwork skills. Alright then, on this diagram we've got a variety of reasons or benefits why somebody might take part in sport and physical activity. What I want you to do is have a look at them, have a read of them and decide whether you think they are a social, physical or mental benefit for taking part in physical activity. Okay? So make sure you read each one and make sure you can give a definite answer as to whether they are physical, social or mental. Alright, let's give you a minute or two. If you need to, stop the video whilst you go through them all. Okay then, we're going to give you the answers. So first of all, we're going to look at the physical benefits of taking part in physical activity. First of all, it contributes to good health. Okay, so ideally by taking part in physical activity, we're going to become healthier. It provides a challenge, okay, which we'll look at in greater detail in a minute or two. It increases fitness, which is quite straightforward, quite a well-known fact that goes with physical activity. The more you take part, the fitter you should become. It also improves performance, so the more you take part in activity, ideally the better you should get at it. Okay. Next we'll look at the social benefits of taking part in physical activity. So first of all, it allows you to mix and work with others. Alright, so most sports involve either playing with somebody else or playing against somebody. There's going to be coaches, officials, etc. Gives you a chance to meet new friends. Okay, so some of my best friends are people who I played football with when I was 14, 15, and I've 20 odd years later I'm still friends with them now. Okay, so that has only come about through playing football. Also gives you a chance to meet with current friends. So again, along the football theme, as I've got older, you don't always get as much chance to spend time with your friends, but I play football every Monday and that gives me a chance to keep in contact with those friends that I've made. It also allows you to develop teamwork skills, particularly in sports like football, rugby, netball, hockey, where you are part of a team and you have to work with others in order to succeed. Next, we'll look at the mental benefits then. Okay, first of all, it can relieve stress and tension. So if you're getting worked up about something or getting worried about something, taking part in physical activity will help ease your mind a little. It provides a mental challenge, which again is very similar to the physical challenge and we'll look at in greater detail in a second. It also helps increase your self-esteem and self-confidence. So people who are successful at sport tend to be the ones who are more confident in life. It also helps the individual feel good, provides enjoyment, otherwise we won't bother taking part in sport, there'd be no point. It allows us to have what we call an aesthetic appreciation, which we'll look at in greater detail in a second. And lastly, it provides an element of competition. It allows us to be competitive against somebody else. So, I said we'd look at some of those particular reasons or benefits in greater detail. So first of all, we're going to look at how physical activity can increase fitness. Firstly, Regular exercise can strengthen muscles and make them more flexible, as well as using up calories, which can help control body weight. Okay, so through your experience of doing PE at Ladybridge, I think we've kind of established it's a well-known fact that those people who are taking part in physical activity on a regular basis are the ones who are going to be fitter. They're going to be stronger. They're going to have better cardiovascular fitness. Their muscular endurance is going to be improved, and all those fitness components we've looked at in Key Stage 3, those are going to be developed by taking part in physical activity. So how does it help the individual feel good? Well, when we're exercising, release a feel-good hormone, what's called serotonin. Okay, so as an immediate effect of taking part in activity, you're going to feel good about yourself because of this hormone. Okay, but not only that, by increasing our fitness and our body shape, because we look more athletic, we look, our body shape is better. That's also going to make us feel good about ourselves. How can physical activity help relieve stress and tension? Okay, well, it can provide a mental distraction from stress, because when you are taking part in your sport, whether it be playing a hockey match at the weekend, all you're thinking about at that moment in time is that hockey match. So you think about all the decisions you need to make as a hockey player. The last thing you'll be thinking about is that English homework that you need to have done by Tuesday. How can it help increase self-esteem and self-confidence? Well, we've already touched on the fact that the fitter we are, the more we take part in sport, generally the better our body shape's going to be. Okay, so we're going to feel good about that and be more confident about our bodies. But it also gives us that satisfaction when we've presented with a challenge, whether it be running a marathon or trying a new sport for the first time. When we're successful at it, when we've overcome that challenge, it gives us an overwhelming sense of satisfaction. Okay, so the next time we do that particular activity, we'll be even better at it because we've got that self-confidence from being successful previously. How can physical activity improve health? Well, the fitter you are, the less likely you are to become ill. So all those people who have good levels of fitness generally tend to be a lot less immune to illnesses and sickness than those people who don't really take part in sport. Also, if you do become ill, generally the fitter people, the ones who take part in physical activity, recover from that particular illness a lot more quickly. How does physical activity prevent a mental challenge? Well, I touched on it earlier about running a marathon. I've run a couple of marathons now, and that's presented an opportunity where I've had to work extremely hard to succeed. Okay, so running 26 miles isn't something you're going to do on a regular basis. You've got to build up to it with a level of training. You've got to be disciplined with that training. Make sure you do it, on a daily basis. And then when you get to the marathon yourself, there's going to be times where you want to give in. Your brain's telling you just to give up because you find it that difficult. But you've got to overcome that mental challenge and make sure you see it through to the end, in order to be successful. How is cooperation developed by physical activity then? Well, as I've already touched on, a lot of you take part in sports we play as part of a team. So when you work in these groups, you tend to be talking to your teammates on a regular basis within the game. So you might be giving them some positive feedback on something they've done well. You might be giving some encouragement. You might be suggesting a position or a tactic that they need to take up. So all that is developing your cooperation with your teammates. How does it provide competition then? Pretty straightforward. When you're taking part in sport, you want to do well. You want to win. You might say you're taking part for the enjoyment, but a lot of people, particularly when they're playing outside of school, they want to be successful at what they're doing. Okay, so in order to be successful, you've got to make sure you prepare mentally for the activity, making sure you're in the right frame of mind, you're organised in what you need to do. And it also allows you to forget about the stresses of everyday life then as well. Physical challenge then, very similar to the mental challenge. You're presented with this physical activity or this experience that is very demanding. Okay, so when I talked about the mental challenge, my brain being told to give in because I was finding it difficult. Likewise, your body, because the physicality of the activity you're doing, your muscles are going to be hurting. You're going to experience that feeling of fatigue and lactic acid. And it's very, very easy just to give in because you feel tired and out of breath or something like that. But you've got to overcome that physical challenge of what you've been presented with. Mention this term, it's this aesthetic appreciation. You've probably not heard of that, or very few people have. And basically what this is, in sport, when we're taking part, we will come across what we call moments of brilliance, okay? That to look at, look amazing. So, you know, in football, a lot of times Sky Sports always show the overhead kick that Wayne Rooney scored against Manchester City, okay? Because it was an absolute moment of brilliance, okay? Something you don't see all the time. And to look at it, you think, whoa, oh my God, that's just out of this world. What a goal, okay? So that's aesthetic appreciation. Be able to look at something and think, whoa, that's out of this world. That's brilliant, okay? But you can also experience that as the performer. So if you're taking part in perhaps a trampoline routine and you perform a backward somersault, the whole feeling that comes with that particular movement, feels good. It gives you an overwhelming sense of satisfaction, and again, that's what we call aesthetic appreciation. How can physical activity develop friendships and social mixing then? Pretty straightforward. Like we said previously, when you're taking part in physical activity, it involves other people, whether it's your teammates, your opponents, coaches, officials, and you get to see these people on a regular basis. And as a result, like I said with my football team, friendships develop, and you start spending time with these people not only when you're performing, but outside of sport as well. Okay, so many clubs, things like cricket clubs and tennis clubs, they have a really, really strong social side. So those are all the reasons and benefits for taking part in sport, and I've gone into detail on a few of them. So what I need you to do now is, first of all, I need to watch this video as many times as you need to so that you fully understand everything we've mentioned. So you understand what a healthy active lifestyle is, and you can give detailed reasons and benefits for taking part in sport, and understand that they fall into the categories of social, mental and physical. Okay? Once you've done that, and if you need to watch the video 20 times, you watch it 20 times, you will then fill in all the boxes on your flip learning map. Okay, it's important you start filling these boxes in and provide as much detail as you can, because next week you will then apply all the knowledge that you've learnt from this video and from your flip learning map. Okay, if you do have any problems, make sure you speak to a member of staff. Thank you.